Mr. Homeowner, I recommend putting this as low as possible. I want it down like here. You see a little bit of it from there. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We split the difference. This is 22 feet long. I'm taking a foot. We got 2 foot centers. And so we come in from the first pole 1 foot. On this side, it'll be about 1 foot from that pole. And then we have a nozzle every 2 feet going across.
And we're starting at the side where the pump will actually be feeding the system.
Yes. On the outside of the beam, you want to put it as low as possible so that you can point the nozzles either out and down, or in this case, we'll be able to point them actually a little bit in if we want. And you never want to put the line up here, because if you do, the wind will blow the mist back on the beam. You'll get dripping off. So you want the nozzle to be where there's no wall.
And you may want to put extenders on this one because it's a 14-foot high beam.
Yeah, we may end up putting, there's extensions made that we can do any length that are bendable, so we'll play with those later.
Okay.
If you want to make it really precision, you'd want to use a plumb line or a chalk line and just measure where you want these fitting holes, these holes here, and just do a chalk line across the whole thing. That way you can get it exactly even. So if you're gonna do a full nylon installation, with your nylon being your mist line, you're gonna have a large coil, actually much larger than this, that's all coiled up. And it's gonna be really hard to work with because it's a coil, right? It has a memory like a slingy. So what you're gonna wanna do before you actually start installing, just take it and uncoil it, anchor it in one position over here, just straighten it out, twist it so that it gets all the coils out, and pull it a little bit tight, then just anchor it somewhere else. So you're gonna wanna have 2 places you can anchor it. You can tie it in a knot, and then anchor it. And if you notice how it's straight now, when the sun hits it and it heats up after about 30-40 minutes, it's gonna literally be a straight line and much easier to work with. Notice that we're putting these about 1 inch from the fitting. We're gonna end up putting 1 on each side. For now, we're just anchoring it down with 1.
Went ahead and pre-assembled a bunch of these, getting ready to go. Of course, you can use the nylon tubing, or you can upgrade a little bit for the stainless steel tubing. But went ahead and pre-assembled these for Mike, so that they're kind of ready to go, and just stick it right up there.
So we're gonna make this 90-degree corner with nylon tubing, which is usually a lot easier than trying to cut stainless steel and get it to fit just right. So we've already cut the nylon to match where it needs to go. But we're gonna take this is already anchored in, we're gonna take that out.
We're at a point here where we're going to have to wrap around a pole to get it to the outside to stay in continuous continuity with the way we've been doing it. So we're using a little bit of the nylon hose just to wrap around this pole. So we've used 1 elbow here, and then on the other side we'll use another elbow.
The advantage of push lock fittings makes installation so much easier than using compression fittings. It literally just clips onto this stainless steel. If you notice, I have this piece here. All I have to do is click it in. Click. It is now mounted in. So we're coming to the end. This is our last piece of stainless steel. This has a regular misting tee on it. The nozzles go into here. But at the end, and how you end your line, the end piece is a elbow. It just clips on like with our push lock fittings. The nozzle will go in here and it will end the line as here. So this is our last piece. You put the end piece on. Again, this is the end of the line. See how it butts here? That just clips on like all of our push lock fittings. And you're done. This, we actually decided to bend steel around the corner, and it does not come with the blank steel, but you can buy it separately. What I'm holding here can be cut, ran it from here and did a 90-degree bend, which I messed up a little bit on, and then brought it around here. And that gives it the finished stainless steel look. You could run nylon here. It's easier for the do-it-yourselfer, and that's what I'd recommend, but this is an option. So now we're just hooking up the water source. It comes with this inline filter. It's all push lock fittings and quick connect, so it makes it very easy for the do-it-yourselfer. This would just go in like a push lock shark bite fitting, like all the other fittings, and it won't come out. And then this line from the filter is a quick connect, which I really love. It just simply clicks right on. That's already installed. This has a mounting bracket that we'll show you later that will mount to the wall. And then the MIST line that we just showed you has the quick connect also on it. So I'm just going to take this and again, just click. That's it. A very important thing you need to do before you run it with the MIST nozzle is to flush the entire system. And you start at the pump and you flush it all the way down the line. So I'm gonna actually start running this and just flush out the pump real quick. So I'm just getting any, this is brand new like a car. We wanna get any shavings or anything that's in the new pump. And now we'll turn that off. And we're gonna hook up the line and we're gonna start misting the line, which we're gonna show you now. So we started flushing, and if you notice that we have water only coming out of the first really 3 holes with any pressure. So we need to actually start putting nozzles in and get the water to come out of all the nozzle fittings and work our way all the way down to the end to make sure we get it really flush. We're flushing, we've already put the nozzle in here. As you can see, water's coming out of these holes. You can actually just put the nozzles in as you flush. Until you get to the last nozzles, then it'll be too much pressure. We put the nozzles in, we just hand tighten them, do not use the pliers, make them snug. And on this particular install, since we're so high up, I'm gonna go ahead and point these nozzles down and just in at about a 30-degree angle. So normally when I'm flushing the whole system, I just leave the water running the whole time and just keep putting nozzles in and work my way down. And then I would turn it off when I get to the last 2 nozzles because there's gonna be a lot of pressure coming through. If you do turn the water off and on, make sure you leave it running for an extra 30 seconds on the last 2 nozzles because you're flushing all the dirt down here left over. It's coming out of the holes as you go, but just to make sure that anything collected down here gets out, leave it on for a little longer. So we just finished the preliminary install. There's some other things we got to finish up, but the pump is running. We just got through flushing the system. We're testing it. So you can see the mist is now coming out. We're at about 1,000 PSI. It's a very fine, cool mist. You notice I have the nozzles pointing in because it's so high again. On a lower patio, you want to point them out. You don't want to get too much underneath, but this is so high, this is going to come in exactly where we're going to be sitting.